number one Zambian girl.
Hey guys, Mwaiseni, welcome back to Chit Chat with Chip. I just have to document this real quick. So it is, what's the date today? It's the 24th of May, 2021. It's currently like 10 to 3 and I just spoke to my first mortgage advisor of our house buying process and I am so excited but also so apprehensive. It was a really good chat as well. The guy he comes across very, very nice and that he's going to be really, really helpful, which is actually quite it's exciting. Hopefully we're going to be working with somebody who's actually got our best interests at heart. We didn't go into anything detailed. He just sort of took down our details for the people that are going to be buying the mortgage, our finances. It wasn't actually even the accurate numbers because I didn't have everything ready. That comes after. He just wanted to get a rough idea of where we're at, how much of a deposit we have, what we're looking for, you know, our situation with our employment. So obviously I'm Locum, working with an umbrella company right now, and Steve's self-employed, and that is something that I brought up. And he did say that actually it can be very difficult as a locum or as somebody who is self-employed to be accepted for a mortgage. And to hear that, I was like, damn. But hopefully that won't be too much of an issue. That is something that we might have to face and something that we might have to deal with. So he did say that a lot of lenders aren't really happy to lend to locums or to people that are working with umbrella companies. That's the first one that I've spoken to. I feel like I do want to speak to maybe a couple more just to have a few different options, not just stick with one, because this one will have a fee at the end of it. It's not extortionate, but there is option to have free mortgage advice and free sort of mortgage brokers that will then get paid when the lender accepts your mortgage. So they'll get paid through that. So there is options, but obviously the quality right now sounds good, but I'll keep you updated on how that goes. But I'm really happy, really excited. I'll keep you updated on the process of buying a mortgage as a locum, and not even a locum doctor at that, or locum medical, whatever. I'm a locum biomedical scientist, so I'll see how that goes. And then I have to see how it goes as well for somebody who's self-employed like Steve. And if you want to see more of this journey, please make sure that you subscribe to my channel where we talk all things money, career, fashion, sewing, and just general lifestyle. And I'm excited for this series and this stage in our lives as well. It's just going to be so exciting. Keep up with us and make sure that you subscribe to Chit Chat with Chip, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Well, actually, this is probably going to go together with like another series of videos over the next few days. I'll speak to you guys soon. Hey guys, welcome back to Chit Chat with Chip. So it's been a couple of days since I spoke to the first mortgage advisor on, what day is it today? I think it was on the Monday. Basically with that one, the chat went well. Obviously I mentioned about the whole locum thing, but what I decided to do, me being me, yeah, because I don't know if I've told you guys this, but when I was looking for an umbrella company, I spent so much time looking for an umbrella company, and that was the difference of like £1, like a few pounds, you know, like just to literally gather as much information as I can. In my head I was like, I'm not going to stick with just the first mortgage advisor that I speak to, so I wanted to research a couple more. Obviously this is a difference of like thousands of pounds, like I was not going to be messing about. So I decided to follow up with my bank. I rang up Lloyd's. Well, actually did I ring them? I did a thing online. I filled out a form online for somebody to contact me in terms of what I was looking for or what we were looking for on our property journey. So I filled out the information online, and then literally somebody got back to me within a couple of hours. Within an hour I had a call. At this point in time I was at the shop, so I rang them back, and it turned out to be the mortgage advisor from Lloyd's. He spoke to me and he took our information. He asked how much we get paid. The locum thing came up again, the self-employed thing came up again. Obviously right now I'm a bit like, okay, so this might be an issue, but I'm not disheartened. I'm just thinking it's fine, well, we're going to be able to do it. So he said, this is advice for anybody who's a locum out there who is an agency worker and thinking about getting on the property ladder. He says they would like to see 6 to 12 months of continuous employment. Make sure it's continuous. So if you change agencies and you don't work for like a week or two, that probably doesn't look that great just because it looks like there's a break or there's an issue with you getting money or getting paid. So make sure you have 6 to 12 months of continuous employment with one employer. I will talk about this, breaking it down for my situation in another video, but this is just an update on on what's going on right now. So it's been a couple of days. I'm still waiting to hear back from the first mortgage advisor that we spoke to, who we really liked, and who obviously, like I've mentioned, we would be able, if we went with them, we'd be able to get lifelong advice from them for the term of our mortgage. So this could be 25 to 30 years, and we just pay a one-off fee, which isn't even that expensive. So that was something that we were sold on, but obviously just doing a little bit more research to see other options that we can have or explore. When I spoke to the mortgage advisor from Lloyds, he then took down our information, told me about the whole locum thing and how that could be slightly difficult because they like to see, like I said, continuous employment. They don't like to see breaks because that means potentially your work is not guaranteed. So that could be seen as an issue, and lenders don't want to see that. Steve being self-employed, obviously last year with the pandemic, grants were being given out to self-employed people. That also is a factor. Rah-de-da-de-da. Another video. That all went okay, or as good as it could go. And then he said the next step was to do an agreement in principle. And I did make sure that the agreement in principle wouldn't affect our credit score. So it wouldn't be a hard search, just a soft search, just to see where we're at and if they actually even agree to give us an agreement in principle. So if it was something that was going to negatively affect my credit score, I wouldn't have gone ahead with it because I've been working so hard to build that up. So I wasn't about to mess it up literally at the start of the process after working so hard for the last year to build that up. He said, do the agreement in principle, which is a soft search, doesn't affect my credit score, and then see what the decision is. And then we set up an appointment to speak to him tomorrow. So it's Wednesday today. I'll be speaking to him on Thursday. With an agreement in principle, I think most of the time they'll give you like a decision straight away. But I did this just before 10 o'clock. So after 10 o'clock, I wouldn't be getting the decision until the next day. So I put in my details, put in Steve's details, put in our income, put in our outgoings and everything that they asked for. And then it was obviously just left for the night, and then we would get a response in the morning, and lo and behold, we didn't get a rejection, but we got we need sort of like probably need more information. They can't give us an answer right then, but we need to speak to them and go through some things, and then maybe that's when they can give us a decision in principle. So the Lloyds one, we are still waiting to hear back from. So what I did was I emailed the mortgage advisor from Lloyds what the email said, just to let him know as to whether I go ahead and ring or I wait to speak to him, which obviously it makes sense just to speak to him tomorrow as I'm going to speak to him. But anyway, so he just said, yes, we can talk about it on Thursday when I have the appointment with him tomorrow. So then he can go through everything and maybe see what could be the issue as to why a decision isn't given straight away. But it wasn't a rejection, just to let you know. With all of this happening, and obviously our financial situations, me being locum, Steve being self-employed, and how it might be slightly complicated, I am now leaning towards going with the first mortgage advisor, who said he would obviously just work with us throughout the whole process, whereas I envision the Lloyds mortgage advisor is not going to be chasing up solicitors for us. I think we would have to do all the legwork, which is fine, and I expect that, but that's fine. But this guy, it would be like me doing it, me and Steve doing it, but also the mortgage advisor doing it as well as, which would probably speed up the process. So I think we're leaning towards going with him, but we'll have to just wait and see. It would just take away a lot of pressure, a lot of work that we would then have to do ourselves. I'm not saying that just because you're a locum, you're agency worker, you're self-employed, that you can't do it yourself. We might choose to pay a fee for our mortgage advisor, but obviously the Lloyds one is free. We would hopefully get a good service just from the option that we have by paying. That's my thinking right now, because it's not just for now, it's for when we want to remortgage in the future, or any other time in the process, or even after the process. If we've got any questions, we can just send them a message and we just know that they will get back to us. That is where we're at right now. I'll keep you guys updated. Oh, actually, so I heard back from the first mortgage advisor in terms of our financials and receiving grants over the COVID pandemic as a self-employed individual, and he kind of stated that that might be an issue. So he was then going to try and work with only my income and see how that would work, because basically if you've received the grant in the pandemic, it kind of shows that you might have faced some financial hardship, and lenders obviously won't see that as a great thing. We're not too worried. I'm just going to wait to hear back from him. I've sent him all my pay slips for the last 3 months, so he's going to look through that and see what he can find for us. So that's where we're at right now. But also, just one more thing before I go, I've been looking at properties and reading the news and just seeing that prices have obviously skyrocketed in the last year, or even in the last few months, especially like during this sort of like spring, because there's various reasons. Stamp duty holiday ends in June. People have been working from home, so this potentially could be like a long-term thing for them. So people are starting to resize or rehome, rehouse where they're living saving to go into bigger properties. So everybody's buying. People have been able to save through the pandemic. Maybe some people have been able to save, so they're also now ready to start buying homes. So a lot of people are buying homes. The government scheme came in for 5% deposits, so a lot of people are then now able to try and get on the property ladder. So there's just so many people that are trying to buy that it's gonna potentially increase the prices on the market. It's gonna make so much competition, but obviously how long this will last, I'm not 100% sure. It's a good thing that we're not in a rush, because otherwise that'd be like, oh my god. But we shall see. So there's a lot of things that are happening right now. We'll just wait and see what happens, and hopefully it all works out. If it doesn't happen now, then there's a reason it doesn't happen now. If we have to wait another few months, or if we have to wait another year, there's a reason for that. So I'm not really bothered, and obviously we're not in a rush, so that's okay. I'll keep you guys updated on buying a property as somebody who is self-employed but on maybe a slightly low income, buying a property as an agency or locum worker, and being on an irregular income, as they probably would see it, or a not like an uncertain income. Hopefully that'll be helpful for people that might be in a situation like me, just to see that, or in a situation like Steve as well, or Steve and I, just to see that and just see what your process may or may not be like. But I hope you enjoyed that, and catch up with you guys whenever I next catch up with you. So it could be tomorrow after I've spoken to the mortgage advisor from Lloyds to find out what he says, and also potentially from our first mortgage advisor, just to see how he has gone about things and what he has found. See you soon. Good morning guys, Mwaiseni, welcome back to Chit Chat with Chip. It is Friday the 28th of May, so I just want to do a quick catch up on what's been going on this week. So I think the last time I caught you guys up was when I think we'd got a message from mortgage advisor number 1 saying that potentially the grant situation with Steve as a self-employed, having taken that in the pandemic last year or throughout the pandemic, might cause an issue. So he was going to try and... Do you know what I've noticed? I look like I haven't got any eyebrows. But guys, I do actually have eyebrows. They're just very faint or not very clear, and I don't really wear makeup a lot of time on YouTube, so that's why I look like I've got no eyebrows, but I do have eyebrows. So he was going to try and find some deals only using my income, which he did say he thinks it might be tight from what I gave him, even though I didn't even give him the exact numbers. I gave him roughly what I take home, but I think they take into consideration your whole like income before tax, and I didn't quite know what the number was for that annually. So he said he was going to work on that. So on the basis of that, we're still waiting to hear back from him. But then I told you guys that I had an appointment the next day, or was it like 2 days after? So anyway, on the Thursday, so this was yesterday, an appointment with mortgage advisor number 2, and he was the Lloyds mortgage advisor. We were meant to do the agreement in principle before I spoke to him, and then find out what the decision from that was, and then catch up with him on the Thursday. And I spoke to him yesterday. I even forgot to ask why we weren't given a decision straight away, but anyway, he went through some things, asked them more questions, got everything as accurate as he could, and we got an agreement in principle, which I was so happy about. I was so shocked as well, because I thought initially the reason we didn't get a decision was because something was wrong. Is it me being locum? Is it Steve being self-employed? Is it the grant? Is it the umbrella company thing? And I was just like, what could it be? I was still pretty hopeful, but I wasn't really sure what the issue would have been. I guess they just needed more information. And yeah, we managed to get an agreement in principle. I was really shocked because I wasn't expecting what they said, and obviously the amount. Obviously an agreement in principle isn't like a verified mortgage, like, oh, this is your mortgage, you can now go and buy a house with all of this, blah blah blah. It's just to say this is how much we agree, or we think we can loan you for a mortgage, so up to a certain amount, and you don't have to use the whole amount that the agreement in principle specifies. Yeah, we're really happy with that, and it's mad because it's only been 4 days. The next step now, the mortgage advisor said, is literally to find a house, find a property that we like, get a sale or a price agreed with the seller, and then go back to the mortgage advisor to actually now carry on and apply for the mortgage, which is just crazy because a few days ago we were feeling like we don't know if this is going to work, we don't know if it's maybe going to take a little bit more time, or we're just going to have to wait a little bit longer. Then the next thing we know is we can find a house, we can find a property. It's just crazy. This weekend is pretty much just seeing what's on the market. Like I said, I think it's going to be a difficult process in terms of like finding a property, because there's not a lot on the market right now, but we're hoping if we find something, then yeah, we can go right ahead with it. I'll catch you guys up again maybe in the next few days. It's not impossible. Obviously we know this is not a mortgage yet. It's an agreement in principle. It's good to know that there's hope and it's not like completely out of reach. Yeah, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and follow the journey through as we buy or try to buy and get on the property ladder as a self-employed and somebody who is an agency / locum worker. See you guys on the next video.
Who's the woman?
What's the date today? The 29th. We've been doing some viewings.
Yeah.
Well, not viewings actually, that's a lie. We've been going to estate agents, putting our names down so we can get registered, and then if something comes up, we can get notified. So how do you feel so far anyway?
All right. Got embarrassed by Maggie though.
I don't embarrass you.
There's me stuttering away, talking to the woman.
Steve was stuttering.
Me.
So
stop stuttering, man, in front of the estate agent. Jesus.
So the woman is asking for our details. Yeah, she wasn't even talking to me. She was talking to this guy here. What's your name? What's your number? You're even stuttering on your own name. Nonsense. We want to be taken seriously, yeah. Because I don't want people thinking I look like a child when I'm trying to buy a house. They probably think they ain't got no money.
So she beats me for it.
No, I just told him.
Stop stuttering.
I didn't actually say that at the time. Did I say it at the time? I told you when we left the place. Yes, I did. Anyways, no. So we've gone to a few estate agents at the moment, and we're getting pretty much the same answer. Like, a lot of people are trying to buy. People have sold their houses, but they can't actually move because they've got nowhere to actually move to. And what else? We've got a viewing today, yes, of a property that we both like. Very, very nice. Well, I say very, very nice. It's gonna need work.
Yeah, it needs work. 3-bed in the pool area.
Hey, stop telling people where we live.
What pool area? They know this.
We don't live in Poole.
I live in Poole.
Oh, right. Don't come looking for us. There's not a lot of black people around here, Steve.
It's modern auction.
Yeah, so auction, which to be fair,
it's modern.
Well, whatever, it's still auction. We most likely ain't gonna get it, but we're just looking forward to seeing it, and it'll be our first proper viewing, so it's very exciting. So how do you feel that you're gonna be a homeowner hopefully very soon?
Yeah, it's a great feeling. Can't wait.
Anyway, we'll catch you guys up. I don't know who I'm even talking to. This is for us, for the future. Yeah, when we look back on it and be like, this is what was happening at that time. Future kids, I hope you're proud. That's it.
Yeah.
Catch you guys later. Just a quick update on where we're at with the property search. So yesterday we went to view our first property, and it was like an auction one. We saw it. We were more excited seeing it online than we were when we actually saw the property. There's a lot of work that needs to be done to the property. Potentially with an auction home anyway, it's not going to go for the price that we've seen online. And then on top of that, there's other fees. So like when we thought about it, we're not pressed on sort of going further ahead with that one. And I think that's obviously shown us how important it is to view properties before you buy them, because you could literally love something online and then the next minute when you view it, it's not what you want. So that was interesting, and I'm glad we went to see it, because now we're a bit more like, you know, aware of what we need to do and not just get too excited because we like something and then like basically be just disappointed when you see it. Today we saw some properties online that we think we might like. So what we decided to do is we decided to go and drive around the neighborhood, get a feel for it, see if we can picture ourselves living there, and if we did, we would then try and book a viewing to see the properties inside, obviously. And so there was 2 properties that we saw. One of them has so much potential. It's within our budget. It looks like it has a big garden, but I found that these pictures that they put on these websites, it's a myth. They use this like wide lens situation going on, and it's not what you see. Just make sure you go view the property. So yeah, they make it sometimes look bigger than it is. They brighten it, and it's, when you get there, it is going to be slightly different, I think. But anyway, so this one looks like it's got a huge garden. We saw the front. It looked like it had a huge front yard. It doesn't. It's not that big, but it's decent, but it's not as big as the picture showed it. The first area, which was one of the properties that we thought we liked, we got there straight away. No, it's not for us. We got a vibe that we don't like. It didn't feel good. So straight away we're like, there's no point even booking a viewing, because we're not gonna like it. We then drove to the next property, and that one slightly better. We like the environment a lot better than the first one, and we're still open to booking a viewing for this one because we can see it. We can see ourselves being there. It's not like too much of an issue. It is in an area where we kind of see why. So when we saw that on the website, the price had been reduced, and I think we kind of see why. Like there is an area sort of like next to it or just a little bit further down that's not that great, but the road that we're on and like adjacent streets as well don't look too bad. So this one we're open to seeing the area. So this the house, even this is the one that the garden looks huge, looks really nice. We want to see the inside. It looks like it's got just enough sort of like renovations that are needed, and it's within our price range. We don't want to have our hopes up because we just know like we could really like it and it looks good, and then we get there and then it's like, yeah, not so much. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. So keep watching and make sure that you subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and catch up with you again soon.